Paul and Peter Pan's Extraordinary Quest in Neverland. Once upon a time in the magical land of Neverland, there lived a daring boy named Paul. Now, Paul was no ordinary boy. At just 7 years old, he was known for his boundless curiosity and fearless spirit. On this particular night, Paul was about to embark on the grandest adventure of his life. As Paul drifted into sleep, a shadowy figure approached his bed. It was none other than Peter Pan, the boy who never grew up. Peter's eyes sparkled with mischief and excitement as he gently tapped Paul on the shoulder. "Wake up, Paul. It's time for an adventure," Peter whispered. Paul rubbed his eyes and looked at Peter in amazement. "Peter Pan. Is it really you?" he asked, almost in disbelief. "It sure is. And I need your help. Neverland is in danger, and only you can save it," Peter replied. Without a second thought, Paul leaped out of bed. Peter handed him some fairy dust, and together they flew out of the window, soaring high above the city. The moonlight cast a silvery glow over the world below as they headed towards Neverland. When they arrived, Paul was in awe of the lush green forests, sparkling rivers, and vibrant flowers that seemed to have a life of their own. The air was filled with the sweet scent of adventure. Peter led Paul to the heart of Neverland, where they were greeted by Tinker Bell, Peter's best friend and a tiny fairy with a heart of gold. "Hi, Paul. Welcome to Neverland," Tinker Bell chimed, her voice like the tinkling of bells. "Hi, Tinker Bell. I'm so excited to be here," Paul replied, grinning from ear to ear. Peter explained the situation to Paul. "Captain Hook, my archenemy, has stolen the magical map to Neverland's hidden treasure. This treasure is the source of all the magic in Neverland. Without it, Neverland will lose its magic, and all the creatures here will be in danger. We need to get that map back." Paul's heart raced with anticipation. "Count me in. What do we need to do?" "We need to find Hook's secret hideout and retrieve the map." "It won't be easy, but I know we can do it if we stick together," Peter said with determination. And so, the journey began. They ventured deep into the forest, guided by the light of Tinker Bell's glow. Along the way, they encountered a variety of magical creatures, talking animals, mischievous sprites, and even a friendly dragon named Drake. "Good luck, young adventurers," Drake said, his deep voice rumbling like thunder. "Remember, courage and never giving up are the keys to overcoming any challenge." Paul nodded, taking Drake's words to heart. They pressed on, their determination never wavering. Suddenly, they heard a rustling in the bushes. Out sprang a band of lost boys, Peter's loyal followers. "Peter! Paul! We've been waiting for you," one of the lost boys exclaimed. "Great to see you, guys. We need your help to find Hook's hideout and retrieve the magical map," Peter explained. The lost boys eagerly joined the quest, and together they marched towards the treacherous Skull Rock, where Captain Hook was known to hide. As they approached, they saw the ominous silhouette of Hook's ship anchored nearby. "There it is, Hook's ship," Peter whispered. "We need a plan." Paul, inspired by the adventure, came up with an idea. "Let's create a diversion. Tinker Bell can use her fairy dust to make it look like we're attacking from the air, while we sneak aboard the ship and find the map." Peter and the lost boys agreed with Paul's plan. Tinker Bell sprinkled her fairy dust, creating a dazzling display of light above the ship. The pirates, startled by the sudden spectacle, ran to the deck, leaving their posts unguarded. With the pirates distracted, Peter, Paul, and the lost boys stealthily climbed aboard the ship. They searched high and low, finally finding Hook's cabin where the map was kept. Just as they were about to grab the map, Hook himself appeared, brandishing his menacing hook. Well, if it isn't Peter Pan and his meddling friends," You'll never get away with my map. Hook sneered. Peter stood tall, his eyes blazing with courage. We're not afraid of you, Hook. We'll do whatever it takes to protect Neverland. Paul felt a surge of determination. He took a deep breath and stepped forward, his voice steady. We won't let you take the magic away from Neverland. In that moment, Paul remembered Drake's words, courage and never giving up. He quickly seized a nearby rope and swung it around Hook, trapping him. The lost boys cheered as Hook struggled to free himself. This isn't over, Pan. Hook growled, but it was too late. Peter grabbed the map, and they all made a swift escape from the ship. With the map in their hands, they returned to the heart of Neverland, where a grateful Tinker Bell awaited. The magical creatures gathered around, their faces beaming with joy. You did it, Paul. You saved Neverland. Tinker Bell exclaimed, showering him with fairy dust in celebration. Peter placed a hand on Paul's shoulder. You showed great courage today, Paul. Neverland owes you a debt of gratitude. Paul smiled, feeling a sense of pride and accomplishment. I couldn't have done it without all of you. As dawn approached, it was time for Paul to return home. Peter and Tinker Bell escorted him back to his room, where he climbed into bed, still buzzing with excitement. Remember, Paul, the magic of Neverland will always be with you. And never forget the courage you showed today, Peter said with a wink. I won't, Peter. Thank you for the adventure, Paul replied, his eyes growing heavy with sleep. With one last sprinkle of fairy dust, Peter and Tinker Bell disappeared into the night, leaving Paul to drift off into a peaceful sleep. And as he slept, he dreamed of the magical land of Neverland, where courage, friendship, and never giving up would always prevail. And so, Paul's extraordinary quest in Neverland came to an end, but the lessons he learned and the memories he made would stay with him forever. For in the heart of every child lies the spirit of adventure, the bravery to face any challenge, and the belief that magic can be found in the most unexpected places.
Created by a kid and their parent using Talebot, click the link in the video description to create your own story.